Picture this. You're a 68-year-old traveler standing at TSA security in Atlanta. You've flown dozens of times with your favorite gel neck pillow. The agent pulls you aside. Your $200 pillow gets confiscated. You spend 45 minutes in secondary screening while your flight boards without you. Here's the problem. TSA quietly updated their 2026 carry-on rules, and 5 comfort items seniors rely on are now getting flagged at checkpoints nationwide. We're talking gel pillows, heating pads, weighted blankets, electric massagers, and even compression sock bundles. I'm going to show you exactly which items trigger alerts, the medical exceptions you need to know, and the TSA-compliant alternatives that actually work. If you love this kind of travel intel that protects your trips, hit that subscribe button and tap the like icon right now. Item number 1. Gel-filled neck pillows, the hidden liquid trap. Here's what TSA won't advertise. They've reclassified gel-filled neck pillows as liquid containers under the 3-Combo 5-2. One rule. That cooling gel insert you bought for neck pain? TSA now treats it exactly like a bottle of shampoo. A 68-year-old traveler learned this the hard way at Hartsfield-Jackson. She packed her therapeutic gel pillow in her carry-on like she'd done on 20 previous flights. The scanner flagged it. Security pulled her aside for enhanced screening. They confiscated her $200 pillow because the gel insert exceeded 3.4 ounces. She missed her connection and spent the night in Atlanta. The new rule is straightforward. Any travel pillow with non-removable gel or liquid cooling components exceeds carry-on limits, period. No exceptions for therapeutic use unless you have proper medical documentation. Here's the trap most seniors fall into. They assume gel packs are fine if they're frozen solid at the checkpoint. Wrong. TSA considers the substance in its liquid state regardless of current temperature. That frozen gel pack will melt, so it counts as liquid. The solution is straightforward. Remove gel inserts before you reach security. Pack them separately in your quart-sized liquids bag if each insert is under 3.4 ounces. Most aren't, which means they go in checked luggage or stay home. Now, medical exceptions do exist, but they require work. If you have a prescription for cooling therapy due to a diagnosed condition, you need documentation from your doctor, not just a note saying patient needs cooling pillow. The prescription must specify the medical necessity for gel-based cooling during travel. You also need to notify TSA at least 72 hours before your flight through their TSA Cares program at 855-787-2227. Even with documentation, expect inspection. TSA will examine the pillow, possibly swab it for explosive residue, and verify your paperwork. Budget an extra 15 minutes at security. Here's your practical swap. Memory foam travel pillows with no gel or liquid components sail through security. Look for ones with washable covers and adjustable firmness. Brands like Tritiel and Cabot make ergonomic designs specifically for neck support without any liquid fill. You can find TSA-compliant options under $30 at most travel retailers. Second option, inflatable neck supports. These collapse completely flat for packing, which saves space in your carry-on. The key advantage? You can deflate them entirely and store them in your quart-size bag for easy inspection. Once you're through security, inflate them in seconds. Models from Sea to Summit and Eagle Creek run about $25 and include washable fabric covers. Pro packing tip: if you're switching to inflatables, practice deflating them completely before your trip. Some models have tricky valves. You don't want to struggle with this at the checkpoint while a line forms behind you. Deflate it flat, fold it twice, and it should fit in your liquids bag alongside your toiletries. The bottom line on gel pillows: remove gel inserts or switch to memory foam and inflatable alternatives that don't trigger the 3-1-1 rule. Neck support solved. Now the item that's triggering fire alarms. Item number 2, heating pads. The battery fire risk lithium battery heating pads are now classified alongside e-cigarettes under new TSA fire safety protocols. The reason? Thermal runaway incidents on commercial flights doubled in 2025, and rechargeable heating devices were responsible for 40% of those events. A retired couple from Phoenix learned this at their home airport last month. They packed an $85 rechargeable heating pad in their carry-on for the husband's chronic back pain. Security flagged it immediately. The TSA officer explained the new watt-hour restrictions. The couple had 2 choices: abandon the device at the checkpoint with no disposal compensation, or miss their flight to retrieve their car and drive home with it. They left it behind. Here's what the rule requires. Heating devices over 100 watt-hours are completely banned from both carry-on and checked luggage. Devices under 100 watt-hours must have removable batteries, and those batteries must be accessible without tools. If your heating pad has a sealed battery compartment, it's not coming on the plane. The problem? Most seniors have no idea what watt-hours means or how to check their device. Here's how to find out. Look for a label on your heating pad or its battery pack. It should list either watt-hours directly or voltage and amp hours. If you see voltage and amp hours, multiply them together. A heating pad rated at 20 volts and 4 amp hours equals 80 watt-hours, which technically qualifies. But here's the trap. If that rating isn't clearly visible on a label, TSA will confiscate it by default. USB-powered heating pads create even more confusion. Many don't display any watt-hour rating because they're designed to draw power from a computer or wall adapter. Without visible specifications, TSA treats them as potential fire hazards and confiscates them regardless of actual capacity. Medical exceptions exist but require documentation. If you have a prescription for heat therapy due to arthritis, chronic pain, or circulation issues, carry a letter from your physician specifying the medical necessity. The letter should include your diagnosis, the prescribed treatment, and confirmation that heat therapy is required during travel. You must also demonstrate that the battery can be removed from the device at the checkpoint. Here's your practical swap. Disposable adhesive heat patches are TSA-approved because they contain no batteries or electronic components. Brands like Thermacare and Salon Pass offer patches that provide 2 hours of therapeutic heat through chemical activation. They're available at any pharmacy for under $15 per box, and you can pack as many as you need. Second option, microwavable gel packs. These are allowed in carry-on luggage as long as they're completely solid at the checkpoint. The gel must be frozen or room temperature, not warm. You can request hot water from flight attendants to warm them once you're on board. The results vary depending on airline policy. Pro tip: if you absolutely need your rechargeable heating pad at your destination, pack it in checked luggage with the batteries completely removed. Carry the batteries separately in your carry-on in a protective case. This meets TSA requirements and protects your investment. Heat solved. But this next comfort staple weighs you down in more ways than one. Item number 3. Weighted blankets. The X-ray nightmare. Here's what TSA won't tell you about weighted blankets. The dense film material, glass beads, steel pellets, or poly pellets creates dark shadows on X-ray screens that obscure everything else in your bag. Security officers can't verify what's underneath those shadows, which triggers mandatory hand inspection protocols. A 72-year-old woman with generalized anxiety disorder discovered this at Denver International last month. She packed her 1 5-pound weighted blanket in her carry-on because it helps her manage flight anxiety. The X-ray operator immediately flagged her bag. 2 TSA officers conducted a full contents search that took 30 minutes. They removed every item, swabbed multiple surfaces for explosive residue, and questioned her about the blanket's purpose. She made her flight, but barely. The current TSA protocol is clear. Any blanket weighing over 5 pounds triggers enhanced screening. That doesn't mean it's prohibited. It means you're guaranteed a bag search and possible delays. The heavier the blanket, the longer the inspection takes, because officers must physically examine more of your belongings to clear the bag. Here's what happens at security when you pack a weighted blanket. Your bag goes through the scanner. The operator sees a dense mass that blocks their view of other items. They can't determine if something dangerous is hidden beneath the weighted material. Your bag gets pulled to the inspection table. An officer opens it, removes the blanket, and manually inspects everything else. If your blanket weighs 1520 pounds, they'll likely swab it and other items for traces of explosives. The whole process adds 1530 minutes to your security wait. Medical documentation helps but doesn't exempt you from screening. If you have diagnosed anxiety, PTSD, autism spectrum disorder, or sensory processing issues that require weighted pressure therapy, carry a letter from your mental health provider or physician. The letter should specify your diagnosis and confirm that weighted blanket therapy is part of your treatment plan. This documentation won't prevent the bag search, but it explains the medical necessity and may speed up the process. The better approach? Ship your weighted blanket to your destination using a service like UPS or FedEx. Many hotels will accept and hold packages for arriving guests if you call ahead. Alternatively, some hotels and vacation rentals now offer weighted blankets as amenities. Call and ask before you pack yours. Here's your practical swap. Lightweight compression blankets provide pressure without weight. These use elastic materials and strategic stitching to create gentle, consistent pressure across your body. They weigh 2-3 pounds, which means they pass through X-ray screening without triggering alerts. Brands like Hug Sleep and Nested Bean make travel-friendly compression blankets for under $60. Second option, weighted lap pads under 3 pounds. These smaller weighted items focus pressure on your lap and legs rather than your full body. They're easier to screen because officers can see around them in the X-ray image. They also pack more efficiently in carry-on bags. Look for models with removable, washable covers. Pro tip: if you must travel with a full-size weighted blanket, call TSA Cares at 855-7222-27 at least 72 hours before your flight. This program provides assistance for travelers with disabilities and medical conditions. A TSA representative will coordinate with your departure airport to arrange for expedited screening or additional support at the checkpoint. This doesn't guarantee you'll avoid inspection, but it alerts security staff to expect your medical equipment and may reduce delays. The bottom line on weighted blankets: anything over 5 pounds will slow you down at security. Ship it ahead, rent at your destination, or switch to compression alternatives that provide pressure without the X-ray complications. Screening delays are frustrating, but this next device can get you arrested. Item number 4. Electric massagers. The concealed device problem. Electric massagers with motors, batteries, and unusual shapes are now triggering security alerts at unprecedented rates. The issue isn't the massage function, it's that these devices look suspicious on X-ray screens and resemble weapon components or improvised explosive devices. A 70-year-old retiree spent 2 hours in secondary screening at JFK last month because his percussion massager triggered multiple alerts. The handheld device had a pistol grip handle, a lithium battery pack, and a motor assembly that looked concerning on the X-ray screen. TSA officers questioned him extensively, disassembled the device, swabbed it for explosives, and consulted with their supervisor before clearing him. He missed his international flight and had to rebook for the next day. Here's what TSA requires for electronic massagers. The device must be easily identifiable as a legitimate massage tool, not something that could be mistaken for a weapon or threat item. Batteries must be accessible and removable without tools. Any massager that resembles a gun, baton, or other weapon, even if it's clearly labeled as a massage device, faces heightened scrutiny and possible confiscation. Certain designs are now effectively banned. Percussion massagers with pistol grips, even from reputable brands like Theragun, create problems at security checkpoints. The shape alone triggers alerts. TSA officers are trained to identify potential threats based on X-ray silhouettes, and a device shaped like a handgun will always get pulled for inspection regardless of its actual purpose. International travel adds another layer of complexity. Countries like the UAE, Singapore, and China treat unidentified electronic devices as potential security threats. Some nations have zero-tolerance policies for anything that resembles surveillance or weapon components. That innocent massage tool could result in detention, questioning, and even arrest in countries with strict security protocols. Here's how to pack electronic massagers safely. Keep the device in its original packaging with brand labels clearly visible. Original boxes often include product photos and descriptions that help security officers identify the item quickly. If you've discarded the packaging, print the product page from the manufacturer's website showing the device name, image, and specifications. Place this printout in your bag with the massager. Remove batteries if possible and pack them separately in a clear case. This demonstrates the device is non-functional at the checkpoint and reduces concerns about battery fires. It also allows officers to inspect the battery and device separately, which speeds up screening. Declare your massager at the checkpoint before your bag goes through the scanner. Tell the TSA officer, "I have a medical massage device with documentation in my carry-on." This proactive approach signals cooperation and gives officers context before they see a suspicious shape on their screen. Medical exceptions apply for prescribed therapy devices. TENS units, prescribed percussion massagers, and other therapeutic electronic devices are allowed with proper documentation. Carry a letter from your physician specifying your diagnosis, the prescribed treatment, and confirmation that you need the device during travel. Include the device's brand name and model number in the letter so TSA can verify it matches what you're carrying. Here's your practical swap. Manual massage tools with no batteries or motors eliminate all electronic concerns. Foam rollers, massage balls, trigger point canes, and handheld massage sticks provide effective muscle relief without triggering security alerts. These tools are lightweight, pack easily, and cost under $20 at most sporting goods stores. Second option, compression sleeves for circulation. If you're using massagers primarily for blood flow and circulation during long flights, graduated compression socks or sleeves provide similar benefits without any electronic components. They're specifically designed for travel and pose zero security concerns. Pro tip: take photos of your massage device's packaging and instruction manual on your phone before you travel. If TSA questions the device, you can immediately show them official product information, proving it's a legitimate massage tool. This visual evidence often resolves concerns faster than verbal explanations. Final item catches everyone off guard because it seems completely harmless. Item number 5. Compression sock bundles, the powder substance alert. Here's what nobody tells you about compression powder. TSA's updated 2026 enforcement treats any powder over 12 ounces as a potential narcotic until proven otherwise. That bulk container of foot powder you use with compression socks, it's getting flagged at security checkpoints nationwide. A 65-year-old traveler was detained for 90 minutes at Miami International last month. She carried an unmarked container of compression powder in her carry-on. The X-ray operator saw a white powdery substance in an unlabeled plastic jar. Security pulled her bag for enhanced screening. Officers tested the powder using field analysis kits. The initial test came back inconclusive, requiring a second round of testing. She eventually cleared security, but her powder was confiscated and she missed her flight. The rule is straightforward. Any powder substance over 12 ounces triggers mandatory enhanced screening. This includes foot powders, talc-based products, and compression powders marketed for circulation support. The substance must remain in its original container with the manufacturer's label clearly visible. Transfer powder to unmarked travel containers, and you're asking for problems. International travel creates additional risks. Countries like Australia, Japan, and New Zealand treat unidentified powders as controlled substances. Customs officers in these nations have authority to detain travelers and test unknown powders for illegal drugs. What's legal foot powder in the US becomes a potential drug possession charge abroad if you can't prove what it is. Here's how to comply. Keep all powders in original packaging with product labels intact. If the container exceeds 12 ounces, pack it in checked luggage instead. For carry-on, buy travel-size versions under 12 ounces or transfer small amounts to labeled containers that clearly identify the product name and manufacturer. Medical exceptions exist for prescription powders. If your doctor prescribes medicated powder for a diagnosed foot condition, carry it in the pharmacy container with your name and prescription information visible. Include a letter from your physician explaining the medical necessity. Here's your practical swap. Compression socks without powder provide the same graduated pressure benefits. Modern compression hosiery uses engineered fabrics that don't require powder application. Brands like Jobst and Sigvaris make medical-grade compression socks specifically designed for travel. Second option, roll-on or stick anti-chafing products. These aren't classified as powders under TSA rules. They provide moisture control and friction reduction without triggering security alerts. Pro tip: buy powder products at your destination pharmacy to avoid screening complications entirely. Conclusion: your Action Plan 5 comfort items now flagged. Know the rules before you pack. Medical exceptions require documentation and advanced TSA notification through TSA Cares. Subscribe for updates when TSA rules change, and check out my next video on TSA pre-check loopholes that can save you hours at security.